Well, good morning, everyone. It is Sunday. Yay! So, I wanted to do my inventory video today, but everybody's been home and I need to completely take over the living room, and I can't do that with them here. Between them and the animals, it just wouldn't work. So maybe with any luck, it'll be the next video. So I spent most of my day yesterday working on this room. I made a lot of progress. I couldn't believe how many boxes went out of here. But I have a floor again, and that is like applause time. I have a floor. So if I keep making progress like this, and they're all still here, I'll be able to use this room and make a big mess in here to sort everything and put it all together. But that is my excuse, reason, circumstance for why this is not the inventory video. Anyhow, first order of business, we need to do a shout out to Kia Lou for a very generous super thanks. And I thank you so very much. It's greatly appreciated. So I pretty much the last few days, other than working on this room, have been crocheting with blanket yarn, and my hands are screaming. I did okay with it at first, but I went a little overboard, all good things in moderation type of thing, and that didn't happen. So in deciding what I wanted to make, I was looking on Instagram for free patterns, and I came across this one, and it's an old pattern, and you probably don't even need a pattern for it because it's pretty basic, but a Christmas pickle. So I show Sue and Heather, and they're like, cute, and neither one of them had never heard of the Christmas pickle. So you have to let me know down below if you've ever heard of a Christmas pickle. I mean, I just showed them the picture, and I'm like, too soon? Is it too soon to start for Christmas items? Because I think that people are shopping for Christmas in October. Could have a couple. Now, it's not necessarily the right color green for the pickle, but I just wanted to test it out. And this is with the blanket yarn. Bernat Baby, and then Bernat regular on the red, I think. That might be Baby too. I don't know. Most of it is pieces that I have laying around, other than some of the big twist plush that I ordered the other day. So a Christmas pickle. Now, I think maybe I would like it better in Parfait or Michael's. Well, Michael's, you don't really have your choice of green. Parfait, well, you really don't have your choice of green there either. You have emerald or that lime color. But I don't know. I think I might do a few Christmas pickles. Maybe. So I have that. And then it's like, I have so many patterns. How can I be bored with the patterns? I don't know. But I was really bad this week, and I spent money on patterns. And I tried my little trick of, add it to cart and favorite it and leave and come back later to see if the sellers offer a coupon, and this particular seller does not. And I know that probably 99% of you know this pattern, and a lot of you probably already do this pattern. So I went over to Humble Child Co. and bought her mini anchor pattern. Not the big one, the mini. And this is my Octo. It's the underneath color. So, this pattern, and Heather warned me, there wasn't a lot of pictures. But I was telling her, that, like, I kind of want to get it, but I don't want to spend $8 on the pattern, 8 and some change. And I was waiting to see if they had a coupon. Not that, 80 cents would make that much of a difference if it's a 10% coupon, but it all adds up in the end. It might be a free pattern at the end of the month. Well, they didn't, and I went ahead and did it. And this is a lot of work. And I feel like I have more legs than I do head and body. When it came to the legs, like you're making the piece with the bobble stitch first, and then you're going back and doing this top part, and you have to crochet them together, which is fine, except for the fact that I could not find my stitches on the bobble stitch row, because you do a chain and then you start working your way back, and your bobble is going into the chain, which tightens it up. And being with the variegated, it was very difficult to see my stitch. So this took me a while. Most of the time was in these. So honestly, I am not that impressed with this pattern. I'm not that impressed with the amount of instruction or the lack of pictures that comes with the pattern. I don't know. I mean, it's cool, I guess. I feel like there's more leg, not enough body. It says to lightly stuff, otherwise this part would pop out when you go to attach the underbelly. So I lightly stuffed, and then it like had no body. So I'm sitting there pulling polyfill in through this underneath part to try and get some polyfill in there. I don't know. I just was not super pleased. Probably the only way I'll make another one of these is if this sells. If it doesn't sell, then I wasted my money on the pattern. Plain and simple. So, not my favorite at all. Sorry if you're the designer and watching this, but you need better explanation in your pattern. So then I saw on Instagram that the ladies from Mama Made Minis was having a sale, 50% off for 24 hours only on their Etsy for all their patterns. And on Etsy, it's mostly the smaller versions of the bigger ones that come in the book. And I have the book. I like the book, but I kind of like the size of the smaller ones. So I went over there, and their patterns are normally $8. So $4. So I'm like, I'm going to allow myself $20 so I can pick out 5 of them. So I'm looking, and it took me a while because there were a lot of them that I would have liked to have had. So I'm like flipping through, and I'm like, okay, I know this isn't in the book, and this isn't in the book, and this isn't in the book. So I think that I have 3 that are not in the book, with just a scaled down version. So I started off, I bought 5 for the $20, and I've made 4 of the 5. So I started off with the cat, And my cat does not look like a cat. At least I don't think it does. And it's probably because of my yarn choice. But I really, really, really wanted to test out the Big Twist. The Big Twist plush. So, again, not great with pictures on some things. Some sections of it, there's wonderful pictures, but others, there's just not great pictures. So this is my cat. I do not think it looks like a cat. I think I'm going to redo the nose. I did it like it said in the book. You go across 3 stitches, but I think it's too big for this little face. And I do believe it's my color choices. So I used the Big Twist plush, and then the white part is just Bernat Baby. So I got the cat. The ears are a little odd, but if you look at a cat, they do have kind of big ears for the little puny heads. Gave it the embroidered eyes, because, you know, we want babies to be able to play. So I'm going to try another cat with different yarn. Not today, probably not tomorrow, because my hands need a break from the blanket yarn. But I am going to try another cat and see if I can't do a better job. So the next one that I did, I believe also is not in the book. This one turned out much better. Much, much better. And I was a little bit more careful about my color choices. Not that I had a whole lot of choices because I wanted to use the blanket yarn, but I think I was successful. And this is the Big Twist plush and Bernat Baby on the white. So I only did the color changes in the head. And for the body, I just solid color after the cow and battling the colors. I was just like, I'm not ready for that. But I think this one turned out really, really cute. And I almost put super in front of that. Ugh. No, that's on the banned word list. But these are really, really cute. This one I really like. And again, I gave it the embroidered eyes. I didn't go quite as wide on the nose as it said. This one I like. So we have one puppy. I'm still trying to decide how we're going to display these things. Okay, so this next one, to have the right shade of green, I had some leftover Bernat in a couple of shades of green. This one's not a bad shade of green. And I was a little bit worried if I was going to have enough to make it or not, but I did. I had plenty. I still have more left. Not a lot, but I have a little more left. So this one is a turtle. And I got to use the Big Twist plush, that one that I said I was curious to see how it would work up, because half the skein was one group of colors and the other half was another. But that's how it worked up. It's pretty. I don't remember the name of it. And then I got to use that same brown as I did on the dog. And the shell is like a little backpack. So I'm showing this to Jenna and she says, oh, that reminds me of Franklin. And I'm just looking at her. I'm like, Franklin? So she Googles it and pulls it up. Now, if this was a solid color, like let's just say a darker green, and you put a red ball cap and the red, what do you call it? It's not a scarf. They have another word for it. Around his neck. you could have Franklin. So this one was a little bit more work because you make the shell separate, but it comes off. See, it's removable, little backpack. And I think it's cute. So by the time I got to this one, my hands are really starting to ache a little. So it took me a little longer than one would think that something this size would take, because I kept taking breaks and like trying to massage my hands. But I like this one. Then I have one more. This one I know is in the book, but it just looks so cute. And I just had to get it. So this one's a little chick. I kind of had to get a little creative with the colors because this is like a beige, kind of. This is that sunflower from the Big Twist plush. And red just didn't seem like it would go well on there. So this is the Big Twist plush version of terracotta, which looks more like terracotta to me. And the Michaels, it's their brown, and they call it terracotta. But this looks more like a terracotta color to me. On this one, my hands were killing me. But I forced myself through, and I don't have a good 8mm hook that I can use. I mean, I have a plastic one, but we know how the plastic drags with this blanket yarn. Just, ooh, no. So instead of going 7mm for the head and 8mm for the body, I did it all with the 7mm. And I felt like my body was coming out a little too small. So I added an extra round at the bottom. And then on the legs, I did one round of 12 before I started doing the decreases that it calls for right away. And I did the leg part 2 extra rounds because I felt like I'm using a whole millimeter smaller of a hook, that they weren't long enough and I wasn't going to be able to tie the knots. So I just tweaked it just a little. But I like this one. So of these 4 snugglers, Loveys, whatever you want to call them, these 2 are my favorite. Probably this one, and then this one. And I would really like the cat to be my favorite, but I'm going to have to make another one of those with a different color. So I don't think this color was a good choice for this. Anyhow, so those were my plushie makes. Six things, including the Christmas pickle. So, that is not very much. And it was all blanket yarn. So, yeah, the hands are screaming. But I don't know, I like these. I have to make the 5th one. What was it? I don't remember now. But I have to make the 5th one. So, I did get an opportunity to work on my sweater some more. So I finished the first sleeve. Doesn't look a whole lot different than it did before because it was only an extra round or 2 that needed to go on it. But that is finished for the sleeve. And I got to start sleeve number 2. This is how far I've gotten. It's like, can you really call that a start? It's so tiny. Like, you could probably take this little pattern and make little sweaters for your plushies using the hexagon. When I was looking at this last night, I was like, oh yeah, definitely. You could stop here and you'd have the perfect sweater for your little plushies. But yeah, so I did get to work on that this time and make my little plushies, and yeah, that was that. So I'm going to be going down to Sue's maybe this week, if not the first part of next week. And we're probably going to do another video together. So I'm looking for, in case we end up doing another Q&A type video, if you guys have some questions, then Sue and I would be happy to answer them. So you can leave the questions in the comment section down below and just tell me that it is for the Q&A. And we'll collect up some questions instead of us trying to come up with our own questions for ourselves. Because last time it was like just a spur of the moment thing. So we're trying to plan ahead just a little bit this time. So, questions. And that is it. So yeah, some questions for that. And I have to go. I have to go and make three orders. Yes, 3 orders. 2 of them are pretty big. It's going to take me a little while. So I have to go get that done. And yeah, we will just see you in the next video. And hopefully that video will be the inventory video. So see you later.